Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of For Book's Sake. I'm Heather Roberts.
I am Veronica Adams, and we are 1852 Media.
We are. And today we are going to be talking about Elly Conway and the whole controversy of Elly Conway.
Hold up, Heather. Who?
Who is Elly Conway?
Who?
Elly Conway is supposedly a debut author who wrote a book entitled Argyle, allegedly.
Yes.
I say, we'll get into why we say allegedly.
I mean, Elly Conway is, yes. The author of Argyle, now available for pre-order from Penguin Random House.
Correct.
It's not even a published book yet.
Correct.
It is a to-be-published book.
It is a pre-order that is scheduled to release January 9th, 2024.
There you go.
That originally was going to be released in 2023.
Yes.
And then got pushed back to 2024. So that's, in publishing land, is sketch, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just sketchy. For a debut author to have their debut novel pushed out.
By a traditional publishing house.
Yes.
Indies do it all the time.
Correct.
We see you indies.
Yeah, we see you indies.
Dates are flexible in the indie world. This is a trad thing.
Yeah, in traditionally published world, this is weird. That's weird.
Yes.
So there's also a movie of the same name that is scheduled to drop in February of 2024. So approximately a month after the book comes out. Yeah. So the book is apparently, it's sort of like a fourth wall breaking thing here. So bear with me. So the book and movie is, about Elly Conway, who is an author.
Yes.
Who is an introverted writer, and she's writing a spy thriller novel.
Yes.
And finds herself caught up in a real life spy thriller situation.
She's suddenly surrounded by espionage everywhere.
Correct.
Yes.
People are comparing it to, what was it? The Kingmakers, whatever that whole thing was. The fact that it's being sort of compared to that, which is a very British enterprise, if you will, has me questioning some things. But, okay, so the reason we're talking about this is that, one of the reasons. There is
I was going to say, let's just be fully transparent.
And we'll get into this whole timeline and everything like that.
Yes.
So one of the reasons that we're talking about this is because there have been TikToks made aplenty that are believing that Elly Conway, the author, is a pen name for Taylor Swift.
And listen, the Swifties with their Easter eggs.
Yes.
And all of their wild theories, some of which have proven to be absolutely correct, because Taylor Swift is a marketing mastermind, if you will, to borrow a song title. I mean, the evidence is compelling. I'm not sure I believe the fan theory myself, but the evidence is compelling. They've connected some dots in some very unique ways. So the argument that it could potentially be Taylor Swift is a believable one.
Okay, so my healthy skepticism here.
Yes.
We will go through the evidence, but my healthy skepticism is telling me that this is an incredibly genius marketing move on the behalf of Penguin Random House.
Which is the number one reason we're discussing it today, because for marketing purposes, this is just absolutely next level.
Next level. I think this is an insanely genius marketing move. I do not believe it's Taylor Swift at all who wrote the book. I believe that this is a packaged author, meaning that the author does not actually exist, that there's no real person behind it, other than the, powers that be at Penguin Random House. I believe that they have partnered with a talent agency, a media company, to help create the persona of Elly Conway, and that they potentially are giving Taylor Swift some type of kickback royalty something in order to essentially use a lot of these Easter eggs in a very blatant way.
Yeah.
And have her not deny, or have her, not say anything,
Right. To
either
keep her from
confirming or
speaking out and
denying.
definitively saying, I
Yes.
am not Elly Conway.
Right.
Right.
In order to help market these things.
Also a very good theory.
This is my theory. And this is why I believe this. Okay. So let's go through some of the timeline. Then we can talk about why people think it's Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And then you can decide what you think.
Yeah. All right. Set the table for us.
Setting the table. Okay. So it states that Elly Conway has a very small bio. On the Penguin US site, it simply says that she was like born and raised in upstate New York. Like that is all. And that she lives in the United States. Thank you. Thank you very much.
She wrote Agent Argyle while working at a diner.
It says that on the Penguin UK website, not the Penguin US website.
Okay.
I find that interesting. I find that to be interesting. So on the Penguin UK website, it says she wrote her first novel about Agent Argyle while working as a waitress in a late night diner. Those are the exact words. Okay. If you go onto Amazon and you click on the author, there is no author page for Elly Conway. It just brings up the book, which any real person, even people who are pretending to be fake people, like pretending to be somebody or like a pen name or what have you. Most authors create their author page.
Yes.
Like that
this lack of an author page smacks of the publishing company having just set up the book on its own without any sort of input from the author or without any credit.
There's no participation of the author themselves in this, because the author themselves would have to go on and claim the book on an author page.
And you see frequently authors who do have traditional contracts who are being published by any publishing company, big or small. The listing is created by the publisher and then linked to the author's Amazon account so that the author also gets linked and credit within the Amazon system.
Right.
Yeah.
So that not existing screams packaged author to me. Yes. Screams it. Okay. So the book release is scheduled, like I said, for January 9th, 2024. You can go and pre-order it now.
Yes.
On January 9th, 2024, it's going to be available in ebook, audio, and hardcover, and translated into German for release.
Interesting.
Right. I find that interesting. Okay. The movie itself was first announced in June of 2021. Okay. Some places say that it was first announced in August of 2021. So I'm going to go with June. There was rumblings, right?
Yeah.
People were announcing it. The film trailer was released by Universal Pictures in late September 2023, which is now why we are all talking about this.
Sure. Okay. The TikTokers have picked up the trailer. Everybody's doing the thing with the Easter eggs.
That is why, if people are like, why now? That is why, because the trailer just released in late September of 2023.
Got it.
Like I said before, the movie is scheduled to hit theaters in February of 2024. If we start going into Instagram, right, there's only one bit of social media for this author. She hasn't, we're just going to say she, okay? She has no posts on her Instagram account. She does have an Instagram account. The Instagram account was created in December of 2021. So the movie was first announced in June of 2021. And then an Insta was created for her in December of 2021. She links in her link in bio. The link is to the UK Penguin link, which is a head scratcher, my friends. Why, if this is Taylor Swift, would she link to the UK Penguin?
So this is why you referred to the Kingsman.
Yes.
the British spy.
Yes.
Like it's got that sort of like this is coming out of the UK kind of feel to it for you.
It does.
Okay.
And you would default to the country
Yeah,
in which you are
sure.
in. Why
Well,
wouldn't you link to the US Penguin site?
it's interesting that like when I was doing a bit of research, I didn't realize that I had been served just from general googling the Penguin UK website rather than the Penguin US website myself, because I
Yeah.
had that additional bio piece too
Right.
that you said is not on Penguin's US webpage. So fascinating bit
Yes.
of movement, energy, direction toward the UK here in some way or for some reason.
Someone, the person creating it
Yeah.
or something, or maybe
Hmm.
this originated in
Maybe the
thoughts.
intern's just British.
Right. Like that. It could be as simple as that. I
Right.
don't know, but
Okay.
I find this interesting.
Sure.
She follows one person, and that is Agent Eric Reed of WME, which is a massive talent agency. And Eric Reed is a partner at WME, this massive talent agency. So Taylor Swift does not use them. Taylor Swift has her own talent agency.
Sure.
She has 13 Management, is what, of course, she
Yeah.
has.
You don't become a billionaire by doing everything out of house.
Correct. So she has 13 Management. It's all very tightly guarded. She has
Sure.
made like one staff change over the past like decade. And
Hmm.
that staff change is only like the head attorney because her attorney, her senior counsel retired.
Okay.
And so she brought on a senior partner from Venable in DC
Yeah.
to become senior counsel. Yeah, we know who Venable is. So if you don't, it is a very large, prestigious law firm
Hmm.
based in the DC area. So my point being, she does not make like, any type of big changes or anything over there.
Yeah.
Could she be why would she go to a talent agency
Right.
to shop a book and then
Right.
have a partnership with somebody else who's going to get a cut
Right.
of whatever this is, which by the way, Apple paid $200 million for the rights to
Yes.
this movie.
Yes. Yes.
I don't see Taylor Swift giving up any of those dollars to somebody when she could be doing it herself,
Hmm.
which she could be doing it herself, by the way.
Sure.
So like
She's
this is my healthy
film.
skepticism, okay? This
Film
is
is not a new frontier for her. Look at her music videos.
correct. Look at her deal with AMC that just
Hmm.
recently happened. That all
Hmm.
went direct. She did
Yeah.
not use anybody else. So why the subterfuge? Also, why the subterfuge? If she was going to be releasing a book under a pen name, she would want everyone to know about it.
Sure.
This is my okay. There is a Argyle movie Instagram that was started in June of 2023.
Okay.
Shockingly, or not so shockingly, 50% of their followers follow Taylor Swift because of this whole thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So their marketing tactics of trying to reach the Taylor fan base is working. Clearly. They have changed their username once already.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what it was before,
Okay.
but it's Argyle movie right now. I don't know what it
Okay.
was before, but it is based in the US and it is a verified account. I will note that Elly Conway's Instagram is not verified and it does not say where she's based.
Fascinating.
The
And my
only
understanding is that that Instagram account was started on December 13th.
in 2021.
Yeah. Well, Taylor's birthday, December 13th.
Taylor's
13 being
birthday.
her, the 13 and all of that. That's her lucky
Yes.
number. It's her brand. It's her
Right.
birth date.
The
Right.
only other thing I will say is that there are no trademarks for Elly Conway. There are not any trademarks for the Argyle movie. And I found that interesting
Interesting.
as well. I did a little searcheroo.
What would be the reason not to?
It's not Taylor Swift. I mean,
Well, yeah, but even if it's not Taylor Swift, the owner could still.
They should. I mean, if this has been going
Like,
on since June of 21,
we're talking about a $200 million investment from Apple, and nobody has registered a single mark with the United States government over this deal. Like,
yeah.
what?
And so, well, you have to remember, so if the film was announced in 2021, so
Right.
a draft of the book's manuscript script allegedly.
Or the screenplay.
Articles are calling it a draft of the book's manuscript.
Hmm.
I'm using air quotes for those of you listening on the podcast because I think that it was a movie screenplay that was then turned into a book for this marketing
And Elly
purpose.
Conway is the no actual real person pseudonym being used to publish the screenplay as a
Yes.
novel to sell it as a companion to and or build buzz for an ongoing series about Agent Argyle.
So yeah, and just so that we're clear, the book was originally slated for a September 29th release
Mm-hmm.
in God, what year? 2022, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And then it was pushed back to March 30th of 2023. And then it was pushed back to January 9th, 2024. Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
Hollywood, the screenwriters strike, like, how many other things could be at play in a decision like
this
that?
is my thought, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
yeah. Also, the Penguin in mentions on the Penguin Random House website, I believe they
Mhm.
fixed this now. Her name was spelled differently. Her name was spelled Ellie Conway.
So I've got the tab open right now. I'm looking at it. I should pull a screenshot. My Chrome tab, the actual tab at the top of my browser says Ellie Conway, but the page is Elly Conway.
Yeah.
It's still live, like the discrepancy.
Well, that's good to know. So this I hadn't seen this before. I'm reading Gawker. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
it says communication with a publicist for Ballantine Books, the imprint publishing Argyle. So that's
Yeah.
Penguin Random House, okay.
Yes.
Went dead after the conversation turned to questions about the author. So, yeah. This is I think that
So
it's
what?
packaged. This
I'm
was
starting
from
to think you're
September
right.
19th, 2022. This
Okay.
this article.
Okay.
So it was
What would
originally
what would be the
yeah.
reason for Elly Conway if she's a real person and she's not a packaged author? Okay,
Right.
let's make the assumption for the sake of argument that she's not Taylor Swift and she's also not just some packaged, a screenplay
That
was
she's
then ghost
actually a
written into a
debut
novel.
author. Yeah.
That she is a real person who actually wrote this book or wrote a book that has now been, you know, edited and revised and adapted and then readapted, okay, for all of Hollywood's purposes.
Yeah.
What would be the reason to stay anonymous as just, Elly Conway, whoever you are, the woman who allegedly wrote this book while working at a diner, according to
Right.
Penguin UK.
Right. If she's actually somebody who worked at a diner, what would there would be no reason. If you are
Right.
somebody who is a diner worker, one would
Mm-hmm.
assume by the persona in which has been created that this
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't have a lot of means, right? That they haven't
Right.
lived a life of means, or
Right.
at least are not currently living a life of means.
Sure.
So why stay silent about it? Why not try to
Right.
market yourself further? Why
Well, and why aren't you being taken on a press tour and a book tour pre-launch? Why aren't you out
right.
there doing media and interviews and
Like
early
Penguin would do
signings
for
and reading
any
parties? Yeah,
like Penguin
exactly.
would do for literally any of their other authors that are
Right,
large names
right,
who
right.
had a book optioned into a movie?
Yes, exactly.
Like literally all
Being
of them would
directly
want that.
quoted in Entertainment Tonight and Entertainment Weekly and Entertainment Everybody, People
Yeah.
Magazine. Us Weekly. Like, why are you not, no photos, no quotes, no nothing.
And also, I do just as I was saying the words out of my mouth about
Mm-hmm.
her being a diner, a diner worker and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's not real, which I don't believe she is, I find that sort of gross.
To play off of the working class trope
Yes.
as the rags to riches story for this debut author to help
Yes.
drum up support for her from people who might not
100%.
otherwise engage with the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that gross.
It is gross. If that's what has happened, it is gross. You're not wrong.
It very much tracks though with
Yeah.
being Penguin. Like
Sure.
it tracks.
Sure.
So, all
It's
right.
very
So, do you
it's
want to get
very
in?
Dickensian, if you will.
Yeah. Do you want to get into why people are saying it's Taylor Swift?
Oh Lord, we can. So there's the
I
Instagram
feel like
creation date,
I feel
right?
like I've put my skepticism out there. So, we need to put
Yeah,
on the
but
other
you've
side.
persuaded me in the process. I don't even want to talk about Taylor anymore. Like, oh, there's no way it's her. No. So the Elly Conway Instagram went live for the first time and shared its first post on December 13th, 2022, I believe, or 2021.
She has no
So
posts right now, by the way, so they've all been deleted.
interesting. What
Yeah,
was the post
sorry.
history?
There were
I've
posts
seen
before.
I've seen some screen grabs of like the actual post layout of several posts, how Instagram does.
Yeah,
So they're all gone.
they're gone.
Oh, this is a total package marketing move here. And it's brilliant.
It's
Because Taylor
brilliant.
does that too. Taylor does that too. Like the idea is to create enough parallels between Elly Conway and Taylor Swift so that people can't stop thinking that Elly is Taylor.
Right.
Period. And Taylor will often archive her Instagram posts when she's about to do something big for marketing
Yeah.
reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That has happened multiple times in the past. So there's the Instagram connection, first and foremost, December 13th being the start date, that also being Taylor's birthday. One of the other really big connections is cats, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in the book itself, Elly Conway is a cat guardian. She has a pet cat. For people who own cats, you don't actually own cats. Cats own you. You just take care of them. So she is a servant to a feline, and it's the same breed as Taylor's cats, or two of Taylor's cats, I think. So there is a connection there in terms of Elly Conway's cat being a Scottish fold and Taylor having a Scottish fold, or maybe two Scottish fold cats. I don't remember off the top of my head. And also, I believe in the trailer there's a scene of Elly taking her cat on the road with her in one of those like bubble travel backpacks for cats. They
Yeah.
sit in it and they've got the plastic bubble with the holes. They get fresh air and they can see everything that's going on around them while they're strapped to your back.
Sure.
And Taylor used one of those and was carrying one of her cats around in one of the documentaries that either she produced or that was made about her a few
Okay.
years back. So we have all of this like Taylor cat stuff. Also, the movie cat, the book cat, has his own Instagram.
Yes, the movie cat himself is famous. The movie cat,
Interesting.
yeah, he's famous all in his own right. He's
Well,
actually
sure. He's a
the
Hollywood cat, right? Like he's
yeah,
probably
he's
been in several commercials and TV and
I forget who he's owned by. Hold on. I read it in one of the articles. He's owned by someone
Claudia
famous.
Schiffer.
Yes,
Claudia
there we
Schiffer
go.
owns him.
He is owned by a Claudia Schiffer, and they have created
Mm-hmm.
an Instagram for that cat, and so that cat is famous already. The
Yeah.
one that's playing the cat in the movie.
Right. Right. And they
Yeah.
have done some posts playing off of Taylor with the cat. So like the
Okay.
cat's Instagram has a photo of him. So it's a famous photo of Taylor and someone else, but his face is on the other person's face and Taylor's cat Meredith is on Taylor's face. So
Okay.
like, anthropom it's Friday and I've only had one cup of
I know.
coffee.
I feel you.
They're making them human.
They're
You
making
know
them
the fancy
human.
academic word for
Yes.
that?
Yes.
That's the one I'm trying to say and can't. So, humanizing the cats.
Yes. Okay. I did read one other thing that, like, apparently Argyle is very specifically, like, Argyle
That's
itself.
Taylor Swift coded in some way.
Is Taylor Swift coded. She uses Argyle, the pattern, in a lot of her things. She wears a lot of
Interesting.
Argyle.
I guess I didn't know that.
I didn't never really paid
It's
attention
one of the
before
few things that
either.
has not been shoved down my throat by the Swifties on TikTok, who are slowly turning me into one of them.
I mean, I'm definitely a Swiftie, let's be honest. I'm just maybe not as, like, into, like, I'm surface level, maybe slightly below surface level Swiftie. Because
Yeah.
there's levels. There's levels of being a Swiftie.
I gotta be honest, as an elder millennial, I've been relieved to see Britney back in the headlines.
I know. I know. But there
Watching
is a
certain
connection.
bad boys getting their just
It's
desserts.
about time.
Anyway.
There is a connection allegedly with the Argyle
Mm-hmm.
use, and then obviously the book is
Right.
named
I mean,
Argyle.
if
And
Argyle is like a Taylor Swift thing, clearly.
yes,
I mean, we should have led with that. I'm just
I mean,
unaware of it until now.
I,
That's, yeah, huge title, agent name, very Taylor Swift coded, apparently. Like,
yes, it's very
so,
Taylor Swift quote. But is it Taylor Swift coded, or are people just reading into it? Because
well, that's the thing, right? So the
yeah,
marketing genius here is that if it's Taylor Swift, she's doing Taylor Swift things, and these are little
right,
teeny tiny Easter eggs that people can use to try and crack the code before it actually officially comes out that she is in fact Elly Conway and that she wrote this book under the pseudonym, and that the whole thing has just been, I guess, some sort of side venture for her, because
sure,
owning the Billboard charts and the streaming charts, and spending as much time with Travis Kelce as she possibly can while also doing an international tour, becoming a billionaire, and everything else she's
right,
got going on wasn't enough work for her. I mean,
yeah. I can only imagine what her days are like.
like,
Yeah, I the whole outsourcing of this
yeah.
makes me feel like it's not Taylor Swift.
Well, so
And
I'm
also
getting that vibe too.
I also feel like Taylor is way more nuanced about things.
Yeah, I don't think that things would be as inelegant as they are currently if Taylor were behind them.
This is my thought. Yeah.
This is clunky.
It's
And
clunky.
it does not have that, it doesn't have that Taylor Swift tier feel to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's you know what it is? It's a bunch of people trying to make Taylor Swift their marketing car engine,
Right.
traffic generator, if you will, right? Like,
Without
to
running into any legal issues.
right, to propel this forward. Like, how do you make a book and a movie famous before either one has ever been consumed by the public?
Right.
Okay, well, what catches on in the world of pop culture these days? Where do you find people who engage with pop
Especially from
culture?
something that has come from nothing, right?
Right. Right.
Because there's no fan base.
Exactly. We're talking about a debut author here, and someone who heretofore was unknown and just allegedly a very average working class person.
Right. So I just don't see it. I also don't think that Taylor would agree to having her life story be co-opted in a way that would allow her to put on a persona that she wrote this book while working late nights in a diner.
Right.
I don't think Taylor would allow that. I think that she would find that inauthentic and gross.
Sure. Sure.
And she knows everything that's going on about everything in her life. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, she's not like one of those celebrities that
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that just slipped through the cracks because it's just some small detail written on a one line on a website. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Taylor knows everything that is being put out about her,
She's in control of all of
period.
it because it's all in-house, like we were
Yeah.
talking about before. Like, the fact that this that Elly's Instagram account only follows one person or one other account, and it is this executive from the talent agency.
Yeah. That tells me that that talent agency is running the Instagram account. That's what that tells me.
Yeah.
So for
Why isn't
those,
she following her cat?
right. I mean, for those that don't know, this is not new in the publishing world.
Yeah,
Like,
no. Stuff like this happens all the
stuff like this
time.
happens all the time. People are paid to run accounts on social media pretending to be
Mm-hmm.
authors, and then the books are written by ghostwriters and the books are
Yes,
produced and published, but the author is out there connecting with readers in the
sure,
world and
sure.
pretending to be the person that wrote the book. This
Yep.
is not
Or
uncommon.
celebrities put their names on things, and it's,
Yeah.
it's either memoir or it's whatever. It could be fiction. Most of the time it's memoir, and it's ghostwritten. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the celebrity fact checks and provides information, but everything else is processed through the system, and someone else gets paid to do literally all of the other work: the
Yeah.
writing, the editing, the social
Everything.
media, all of it.
I mean, you look at the Britney memoir, like the goal of a
Yeah.
good ghostwriter, right, is to take the when we're talking about a celebrity memoir, is to
Hmm.
take the celebrity's voice and translate it into a well-written memoir.
Oh,
Because,
girl,
you
Prince
know,
Harry's memoir.
right. If you wrote, and for example, that's a great example because if you
Yeah.
wrote Britney's memoir in the same style that Prince Harry's memoir is written,
Mm.
it wouldn't work. So
No.
the talent that comes in is that ghostwriter taking
Yes.
the story from
Yes.
the celebrity and,
Making it
really,
authentically the
yeah,
celebrity's voice and telling it in
correct.
the way that they converse with people and making it
But
believably
also,
the celebrity story.
yeah, but also making it cogent to read and,
Right.
all of that.
Which,
So,
honestly, a little bit more of a challenge if you're writing Britney's memoir than Prince Harry's, probably, but
absolutely. But that's
it
why
is what it is.
ghostwriters for memoirs exist. That's why,
Exactly.
and they do a fantastic job and
Sure.
they're, absolutely worth every penny.
Oh, the marketing wheels on this thing are just, I can't decide if it's brilliant or if they just got lucky. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
how much of this was staged to lead to what has actually happened with the trailer being seized by all of these content creators on the internet, and the Swifties grabbing Easter eggs and making additional, is it Taylor or isn't it Taylor content? And how much of it is they just fell into like right place, right time,
I have to
and there were
wonder.
3 or 4 similarities, and I mean, with the Swifties, that's
Yeah.
all it takes, right?
Yeah,
So,
basically. I mean, I have to wonder who was the first creator to post about the Taylor theories.
ooh.
I don't know the answer to
Yeah,
that.
that's an excellent question, because the origin of the Taylor conspiracy would tell you a lot about how fabricated it is or is not.
Right. Because let's be honest, I mean, people can go on the internet and say their opinions all day long because that's
Hmm.
literally what the internet is about. If you talk about Taylor Swift on the internet, you're likely to get more views than if you talk about, I don't know, my farmer neighbor. Like literally, just
Fair enough.
of course. So it could be somebody who thought they found something because Taylor Swift conspiracies are all over the place, right?
Hmm.
This is not, new information. But if it's someone like Taylor Nation coming out about it
Yeah,
and posting something or
right.
posting or confirming it, not like even confirming, liking a post or doing something in
Hmm.
perpetuation of, if we broke that down, that could tell us a lot about whether Taylor is co signing this or if it's just, fans trying to make fetch happen.
Stop trying to make fetch
I
happen.
mean, I mean, it's true. The only other thing, so I think people were all, remember that there was a whole buzz about like there was going to be a Taylor Swift memoir that dropped and there was like a huge
Yeah,
pre-order and like
yeah.
I don't even remember what happened with that, what book that ended up being, but it wasn't Taylor Swift's memoir or a doc.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't. because I would have heard that it was, but it wasn't.
I think we all would have, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
But people were all hyped about that because she had done some sort of thing at one of her concerts and it said like Dear Reader.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's in like a whole note, right? So people thought, oh my God, she said Dear Reader. So like Reader is going to be, but isn't Dear
Yeah.
Reader one of the titles to one of her songs? Did I
Maybe,
make
or
that
it's a
up?
lyric. If
Or
it's
it's a
not a song
lyric?
title, it's definitely a lyric.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so you could be reading into that way too much that she's writing a book
Mm-hmm.
or what have you. And let's be honest, Taylor doesn't do things halfway, number one. And number two, she's not all that slow about certain things.
Right.
And she does things independently. Like she's very independently moving.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at the AMC, movie
Yeah.
theater thing. Like that was fast. She just
Yes.
had her tour. She did a whole documentary. I think she didn't even decide like the documentary recording didn't even start at the beginning of the tour.
No, they came on board after the tour was already in progress.
Right. And then they edited it. I can't speak
Good,
today.
it's not just me today.
No. Produced it, did the whole everything, cut it. We're going to
Right.
use other words. Packaged it together and then distributed it
Yes.
and created a whole deal for that within months.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, amazing.
And direct with AMC. Like there was no
Right.
middleman for this at all.
So
Just her and the theater company.
that's really what's tripping me up. If
Mhm.
Elly was Taylor Swift, I do not see in any universe her giving an agent from a big talent agency, any cut of anything.
Right.
She'd be following a cat on Instagram. Right? Like
Yeah.
if this
Yeah.
was Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She'd be giving no one anything.
Mm-hmm. And probably 2 or 3 other things that are Taylor Swift coded.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Easter eggs would be there. There would be more Easter eggs than there are currently.
Correct. It wouldn't just be cats in Argyle.
Right.
I haven't and a birth date of December 13th. I bet that
Mm-hmm.
was potentially coincidental. Or
Well, it
maybe
depends,
intentional.
right? So, like, if the marketing strategy has been to end up here all along, like, if this wasn't just a happy accident, then absolutely it was intentional.
Right.
It's that is the first Easter egg. What do? You start Elly's Instagram on Taylor's birthday,
Right.
and then you just keep dropping little things here and there.
I would love to see the photos that were there too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
annoyed that they no longer exist on the gram.
Yeah,
I
you have
might
to go
have
look for
to
some of the screen grabs
I
people
will
took.
have to go look for some of the scream grabs and
Mhm.
we can
I think it was
revisit this.
innocuous stuff. It was like a city park, food,
Okay.
like coffee. I mean, like the stuff most people put on the gram, like it's a nice day.
But me being a lunatic would run it through Google reverse image search and then look on stock photo sites and see if this is,
Okay, I'm sorry. That is 100% a you thing to do, but also just the cavalier way in which you described yourself as a lunatic. Like,
when it
I guess
comes
we're
to
both
things like
lunatics.
that,
Yeah,
I am extra and
yeah,
I don't, I'm
yeah,
fine with that.
yeah.
So,
Like, I know how to use the public records, and I'm gonna the information
100%.
is there.
If it is publicly available on the interwebs, I shall find
Yeah,
it.
that's right. If it's not behind a paywall,
don't put things on the internet that you don't want me to find. I will find them.
yeah.
I mean, it's part of the reason why we got a good deal on our house. You need to know everything about the person on the other side of the table. Did nothing
I do.
illegal, my friends. Nothing.
I do
Nothing
remember
illegal.
those conversations, though. That was a fascinating time.
It truly was.
And she is 100% telling the truth. Like that. she she went digging and found more than she needed to know.
Found everything I needed to know.
and used it to her own benefit.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Screen grab, reverse image search. How many of those photos on Insta before the account was scrubbed
Right.
were stock photos
Would
that
they
some
potentially, or were they
intern at
taken,
the talent agency pulled off of Shutterstock or
or,
iPhoto?
or were they taken in the UK?
Oh, yeah.
Is that why they were deleted?
I mean, Argyle is I think about
UK
like,
word.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, like the pattern, right? Like
Yeah.
Scottish tartans and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like Argyle is you know,
Yeah. I'm just saying.
hearken to British things, I suppose. I don't think the
It
British
does harken
necessarily
back a
own
bit.
Argyle, but like,
No. But I certainly think it has its origins
sure.
with Scottish
Hmm.
culture. I would think so. I don't know this for a fact. Someone can please educate me. But that
Yeah.
is my.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
didn't do our
research.
homework on Argyle
I
itself
did
before
not.
starting this podcast.
I did not. But that I have been to Scotland, and I have a very good friend who is Scottish and who has spoken to me about the different tartans and all of that. So, with my limited knowledge that I have, I do not think that that is unreasonable to, believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so unfortunately, my friends, I do not believe that Elly Conway is Taylor Swift. I think Elly Conway, again, is a packaged author created with a partnership between a talent agency and Penguin Random House, and that they're
Yeah.
using Taylor Swift Easter eggs in order to draw in an audience. Brilliantly, I may add. Brilliantly. But,
Sure. Sure.
and sort of grossly with the whole diner line. But outside
Yeah.
of that, brilliantly. I don't know.
Agreed. I I I saw my first TikTok from the Swifties about this a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, interesting if true, but also like, what does writing a book do for Taylor Swift?
Right.
Writing a book that is then sold into a $200 million movie deal, that does a lot for Taylor Swift, but like, she's out here making hundreds of millions of dollars on her own without screen adaptations of a book. So like,
And a fiction book, no less.
right, right,
Not a
right.
memoir, not a.
But counterpoint, she's a great storyteller if you listen to her
She is.
lyrics.
Wonderful storyteller.
I don't care what John Mayer said, it's not cheap songwriting. She's talented.
She is very talented. I've been listening to the
Yeah.
1989 remake on repeat,
Okay.
and the new
I'm
songs.
I'm I'm a Reputation fan myself, so like I need Reputation TV. Like I'm just, I'm happy for the 1989 girlies, but like
I do love me some 1989. I do.
it was all right. I listened to it back in the day when I was
Do you hear
driving
the
all over the
bonus
place.
songs though?
Yeah,
The vault
not
songs?
not for me. Like they're
Oh my
good, just
god,
not my vibe.
Veronica.
Not my vibe.
How are they not your vibe? She's
Honestly, I don't get Harry Styles. I just don't, okay? Like it's not
sure.
for me.
Sure.
Not for me.
But she tears him apart and it's beautiful.
I know. And if you were ever invested in their romance or just in her clapping back against men behaving badly and doing terrible
Yes.
things in relationship with women, great. But like
They're just
I'm
not your
done.
song vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not for me. I have 3 or 4 songs from 1989 that I really like, but it's just not a whole out. Like the whole album is not a no skip experience for me.
I skip like one or two songs on 1989. I know people are going to hate me, but I dislike Bad Blood. I just don't. I cannot. I do
All
not.
right, we have to break up now.
I did not like Bad
The
Blood.
Kendrick Lamar remix, like that is just
Okay, well, a remix I can deal, but the original is what I just.
the original. Okay, I'll give you the original. I
Yeah,
really will.
it's just not my jam. It is. Every time it comes on, I'm like, oh, skip. Like immediately. I just can't. I can't. It's the opening notes. I can't. But that's it. Anyway, So I'm sorry for
Couldn't have anything
those.
to do with how much you have in the past and maybe still currently enjoy Katy Perry.
No, I mean, I actually love I love a good rivalry. I did love
Swish,
Katy.
swish, bitch.
I did love Katy Perry's "Swish Swish Bish." I adored that song, and I thought that
I
was,
recall.
yeah, so beautiful. It was so well done. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the notes on it, which is probably why Reputation is not my favorite album. So
Perhaps.
because it's got a
Perhaps.
similar Reputation vibe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
That is my jam. That is my era. If I had to pick an era, I'm a Reputation girly.
There you
So
go. I think Midnight's is probably one of my faves too.
it's a good
I'm a
album.
Midnight girly, but because
And
Vigil.
together
I
we are
mean,
not convinced that Elly Conway is Taylor Swift.
yes. Because let's be honest, vigilante shit. Come on. I don't start shit,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell you how it ends.
that's
That
right.
that does not jive with Ellie Conway. It does
Don't
not.
get sad. Get even.
It's beautiful. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
With somebody who makes these things, like you think that that person is going to be this not well done packaged author. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Her stuff is so intricate and so layered and so interconnected that there's no way what is happening with Ellie Conway it's just not at that level.
Right.
It's just not.
We all wish it were, but it's not. I'm
Maybe
sorry.
it's just a bunch of Swifties who went too far.
We love you, Swifties. We are one of you. We adore you, but this one's not it. It is not passing the smell test. I wish it were, but
Yeah.
alas, no.
I don't
Um,
know. I mean I'm indifferent on whether I wish it were true.
it
It
would
doesn't
be
really.
fun. It would be fun,
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
but
And maybe that's what's missing, right? Like
yeah,
there's just enough that the theory is credible, but also there's not enough that it's actually a suck you in, like,
yeah,
oh yeah, this has Taylor written all over it kind of thing. And that's why I'm not so invested in it or connected with it. I think you're right, Heather. I think it's 100% a package. And I think that the people marketing it are either brilliant or have just gotten super lucky.
that is very possible too. Yeah. So, well, marketing tip of the week. We did not talk about this before we're starting to record.
I have one if you want one.
Oh, do you really? Okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I could come up with one, but
Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. I came prepared. We've just
okay,
been Ellie Conwaying for the last 45 minutes.
I know.
Exclusive content.
Mm.
I don't know that we've talked about this at
I
all.
don't think we have.
This is a marketing tool that you should have in your author toolbox for multiple things. First and foremost, exclusive content being something that you only give or sell in one particular fashion. So, if you have a Substack or a Patreon or a Ream account, you can put exclusive content behind the paywall of those services and monetize that. But the primary use of exclusive content is to use a reader magnet or a loss leader to get people to subscribe to your newsletter. And your newsletter is always going to be your marketing BFF.
Yes.
So when you're done writing your manuscript, write a little bonus prologue or epilogue or a tangential story about a related character in the world you've just created. Put together some kind of short form story, a few thousand words, or an actual whole novella if you have it in you, and set it aside, not necessarily for sale, but as an exclusive product, an exclusive story that readers can only get from you off of your own store or, the retailers that you use to sell your books. That exclusive content will do you worlds of good
Yes.
if you make it available in exchange for some sort of marketing access to people or as part of your behind the paywall content on
Mm-hmm.
whatever platform you're pursuing that kind of relationship with your readers.
Absolutely. That's a great, great marketing tip.
Yep.
Exclusive
Thank
content
you.
can be used in so many different ways. And
Yes. So
yes,
make sure you have some.
absolutely. So, all right. Well, until next time, we will keep looking up conspiracies to debunk. And until then, this has been For Book's Sake. And we're out.